Indictment charges that he and his co-conspirators allegedly advanced their goal through 5 primary means. First, they, quote, used knowingly false claims of election fraud, end quote, to attempt to persuade state legislators and election officials to change each state's electoral votes in former President Trump's favor. Indictment 10A. For example, he and his allies falsely declared, quote, that more than 10,000 dead voters had voted in Georgia, end quote. Quote, that there had been 205,000 more votes than voters in Pennsylvania, end quote. Quote, that more than 30,000 non-citizens had voted in Arizona, end quote. And, quote, that voting machines had switched votes from Trump to Biden, end quote, id at 12. Second, then President Trump and his co-conspirators, quote, organized fraudulent slates of electors in 7 targeted states, attempting to mimic the procedures that the legitimate electors were supposed to follow, end quote. Indictment 10B. They, quote, caused these fraudulent electors to transmit their false certificates to the vice president and other government officials to be counted at the certification proceeding on January 6th, end quote, id. Third, then President Trump and his co-conspirators pressed officials at the Department of Justice, quote, to conduct sham election crime investigations and to send a letter to the targeted states that falsely claimed that the Justice Department had identified significant concerns that may have impacted the election outcome, end quote. Indictment 10C. Fourth, then President Trump and his co-conspirators attempted to convince then Vice President Mike Pence to, quote, use his ceremonial role at the January 6th certification proceeding to fraudulently alter the election results, end quote. Indictment 10D. When the vice president rebuffed them, he stirred his base of supporters to increase pressure on the vice president. See id at 10D 96100. Ultimately, on the morning of